Dandelion here on WNCW live here in Studio B. Banjo Nickaru and Western Scooches are our guests. We're doing a live Facebook streaming here at WNCW's Facebook page. Dandelion, song about weeds. Yes. yes. they say weeds are just plants whose usefulness hasn't been appreciated. Something like that.
That's right.
And I
Well
actually
said.
really love dandelions. I know my dad always told me I had to take them out of my lawn, but I let them grow.
They taken over?
They're they're taken over.
Oh, well.
They're strong.
Yeah, they are. They're like the kudzu around here.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
think of that? The kudzu that grows here. You don't get that up in New York, do you?
But you can pick them and blow a wish.
That's true. That's true. And the dandelion green's pretty good in salad.
Yes. And we live in Queens, and there's some really great Greek restaurants. You get to eat the horta, the dandelion greens.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Bettina, I understand you're quite a dancer. You're kind of primarily a dancer and been in a couple Disney films and some Broadway musicals.
Yeah. I was born dancing, singing, and writing songs, and I got to be a partner dancer in Mona Lisa Smile and in Disney Enchanted. I'm in all the dance scenes in Mona Lisa Smile, and there's a couple of scenes where it's just me and a partner in the ballroom. So you might not recognize me. They dolled me all up and put me in the 1940s dress. So
Yeah. All right.
that was a lot of fun, and I toured all around with Phantom of the Opera, playing Meg, the little ballerina girl who can sing, and I've been in some other really wonderful shows, The Fantastics. I loved doing that.
Nice. Nice.
Now I actually write children's musicals.
Yeah, you seem to write musicals pretty frequently for
I've
kids
been
and young
writing
adults.
a musical every year, and 6 of them are published by Beat Press, and I run a musical theater program for kids called The Garden Players. So I get to do all kinds of improv with the kids and figure out what they're into, and then take all these ideas and turn them into a musical every year. It's really fun.
Great. All right.
And that's gardenplayers.com.
Gardenplayers.com. Thank you, Nick. And speaking of gardens,
Proud husband.
Okay, good. Yes, you should be.
Gardens, weeds.
Yeah. Okay. Weeds, gardens, and specifically, Nick, Gwyneth Paltrow's garden party, circa 2013. Set the scene here. What was happening there?
Yes, I was blessed in New York City to be a sideman with maybe 17, 18 different bands, and one of them is Michael Arenella. He just had his Jazz Age lawn party this last weekend. So one of his gigs, just a jazz gig, never expected. As we're playing, the musicians are saying, "Hey, that's Sarah Jessica Parker. There's Stella McCartney, and there's Paul McCartney singing along with all these very obscure 20s tunes." So I'm in a community where we play. We're bringing to life a lot of these amazing obscure tunes, including the verses. And Paul knew all the words, but then during the band break, he came over and just started jamming with me. I was playing solo guitar, and we did Sudansa Sama, a Joe Beam tune. And then I broke into a blues, and he was playing like a toy harmonica, and he was carrying a little boy. I thought that was his son. He was very down to earth. We joked around. I said, "Hey, you're welcome to sit in with the band." And he made the joke that he's left-handed. You have to change the strings of this upright bass. So yeah, he was very cool. And at the end, I played Something, which is when you're playing solo jazz guitar, Something, the Beatles tune, just sits nice on the guitar, and he gave me a thumbs up. But then later, my musician friends made fun of me and said, "Oh, how can you play?" Actually, Chris Martin came over from Coldplay and said, "You have a lot of, guts playing for, a George Harrison tune for Paul McCartney." So I felt so bad, even though he was half kidding, he was sarcastic. But then my good friend Charlie Cosi reassured me that Paul plays Something as a tribute to George Harrison on ukulele every concert.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
I saw there's a great tribute to George Harrison the year after he died, that big Concert for George it's called.
Right.
And he did a nice version of Something. So, yeah, maybe you inspired him to do it. Who knows? That was after that 2013 garden party at Gwyneth and Chris's place or whatever.
There is a video of us playing together, which we
But we
signed
don't
many
have it. We
papers
don't
that,
have
yeah, we had signed confidentiality
Nick is
papers.
so
I would love to
eager
see that video.
video.
Although there is a video that exists with me in it on her website.
Okay.
But yeah, I would love to see
But it's not the jam.
not the jam. The 2 songs would be
But you
wonderful.
weren't able to post the video
Oh no, yeah, you
because
couldn't.
it featured Sir Paul.
Yes,
and
out of respect for
Sounds
Paul
good.
and for Gwyneth.
Sure. Well, he is a fan of a lot of that early 20s and 30s stuff, right?
He is,
'Cause
and
his dad
actually
was
he
into it?
shows up at the Carlisle, and hung out with my friends that play there, and actually my friends actually inspired him. Well, they think they may have inspired him to do the jazz record because he would come and see them play, and he would say, "Paul, you should do a jazz record." Of course, his management would get his own band to do it, but yeah, it's wonderful to be in New York City because these things happen all the time.
It's great. It's a great city to be in when you have a niche like this, interest in 20s and 30s jazz.
Yes.
Is that what the Hot Jazz Jumpers kind of focus on then?
Absolutely, yeah.
Your other
Yeah.
band. And then, but this band here, sometimes you expand to 3 or 4 people. You have
That's right.
I guess it's a percussionist in particular who is well versed in the Gullah Geechee music.
That's right,
If you
yeah.
want to talk
David
about what that is.
Pleasant.
Yeah, Dr. David Pleasant is, I feel him and Miles Griffith, our other bandmate, are brothers from others. I've been playing in their bands for many years, and they just have such an organic, tight niche where we can hear everything. We all are just so open-minded. So any rhythm, any harmony, you throw at Miles, but David, any rhythm you throw at him, he's just going to come back and bring it to life. And he's so super creative, and he's so humble too. He's played with Paul Simon and has been on Nickelodeon, and just
David Pleasant, when you see him, his hair is flying. His
Yeah.
body is like sweating and glistening because he's putting his entire heart and soul into it, and you just can feel the power and the excitement that comes out off of him. And then Miles Griffith is this twinkly-eyed scat singer whose aunt was Calypso Rose, and he brings all kinds of interesting things to the music. So when you have the 4 of us together, it's such a wild ride for me because the 3 of them challenge me to all kinds of levels of rhythms and varieties of textures. It's pretty wild, and it's fun.
Get Us Out of Fearland was pretty much done on our album. Our title track is just done live in the studio. Lenny Monticello is an amazing engineer. And then we tweak certain things with sound, and there's a couple tunes on there. The Park
And Get
song.
Us Out of Fearland was inspired by, we were hanging out in Boston about to do a gig together, and David Pleasant was doing some Gullah Geechee rhythm. And I started playing along with my guitar, and then this song popped out of me. So I was very inspired by the Gullah Geechee.
Cool.
And David's take on it, too, because he has a very unique version of those rhythms.
Nick Russo, Bettina Hershey, they are